this is CMFX Pro giving a market update of the exhaustion conditions and the signal that was sent out today. We'll start right with that. Basically, it had the high exhaustion off of Friday and false week beginning move, exhaustion off of the false move, and we got it out because the consolidation was starting to form pretty decent sideways range. Always take the next retest and we'll be able to get back in line. I'm pretty sure this is going to either retest off the 800 and 200 and go higher from there, but let's wait for the market maker to give us our move. USD Chef, which falls in line direction of the dollar, and the low exhaustion Friday, did exactly typical market maker manipulation, false week beginning move. It's now locked underneath the 50. Let's see how that holds out of consolidation period Asia session. GU, same thing. High exhaustion off the 800 on Friday. False week beginning move. Exhaustion of that move. It's now above the 50. It's trying to retest the 50. We'll wait till London session, Asia session, see where this is holding. We can always get back in line. Let's see. US CAD. It's out of the high exhaustion right now. It's locked below the 50 EMA. So we'll see how that holds out of consolidation, if it goes blocks above or just drops right out of the 50 EMA area. Right now it is got high exhaustion as the previous signal, so I wouldn't be surprised you see drop. UJ falling in line with trend. Basically off the last low exhaustion, it's going pretty strong off the retesting the 50 and the 200 EMA nicely, and even retested crossing the 800 EMA with a nice pin needle right here. It's going strong. So best bet is, I mean, it did have a false move here for a decent pip gain if you wanted to snack on it, but this is best to just stay in line with trend until it retests to go lower below the 50 or the male or the 200. Alright, let's start let's go with new NU, and the low exhaustion moved down beyond last week's low. It's still locked under the 50, so this has got to be, don't ever, I wouldn't even try to take a buy trade on this until it locks above the 50. So we'll have to see what that presents. If it's still locking below the 50, obviously stay in line with trend. That was a nice trade setup today, locking in, retesting. Once this shift candle happened out of this range and the pullback right here, that would have been a nice entry right here. CAD, low exhaustion, still below the 50 EMA, staying in line with trend. Let's look at, let's start back from GA. It's still riding out of the low exhaustion trend right now. It's going below the 50. It might try to retest the 200 and go higher. We'll just have to see what they give us on that one. I always like to try to stay in line with the trend. I mean, these counter trend trades are nice, but it's always better trend is your friend. So I don't care too much for the counter trade moves, even if you're just, a little bit from here to here, but I'd rather stay in for the long haul. GN's got some high exhaustion, retested a low off the 50 and broke out away from it, so we'll have to just trust that that's better, stay in line with the trend off the 50 until you get a lock and a retest below the 50. EA, high exhaustion, it's kind of just ranging slowly. Most likely it'll retest off the 50, go higher. If you see a lock, a nice clean lock below it, then be careful going long. And we got some high exhaustion on EN. That's going pretty strong. Pretty strong trend. Nice hits to the 50. The more hits you have, to the 50 or the male especially, or the 200, the stronger the trend's going to be. GJ, real nice high exhaustion beginning right out of Asia session. It went a little bit higher than the exhaustion Friday, high exhaustion that established, and it just nicely came down, did a retest on the 50, male and the 50. See how market makers use manipulation against the EMAs, retesting, pull back, come down. I mean, anybody that doesn't know about this, they don't know which way to go. There's anywhere they enter, they're going to be wrong, unless they understand how the market maker traps and manipulates around specific EMAs. J. That's a nice high exhaustion Friday, and the low exhaustion established here. You know, when you see pin bars and inside these two bars right here, some inside bars, then you got this dropped, two more inside bars, and then a bullish after. Pin bar, pull back, pin bar, stronger. Now it's locked above the 50. This is probably going to retest the 50 again. Now that every time it hits an EMA, it's going to retest itself for its strength. And that's very typical. EJ at high exhaustion. No low exhaustion established. It did obviously shoot, stayed away from far away from the 800 and just went directly up above the 250 from there. Pretty much just staying in line with the low exhaustion that was established back here. Okay. Really nice trade setup. High exhaustion out of Asia session, close to a hit to the blueberry. Just had three symbols of exhaustion right here. Really nice, and just dropped down below, retested against the 200, dropped down again, low exhaustion established. Right now it's kind of retesting on the 50 again. Okay, we did those. Okay. Chef. Very much no exhaustion per se, but it's did a lot of retests off to 50. Stay in line with trend. Also New Zealand's long trend retesting to 50 and the 200 over and over again. Cat Chef at high exhaustion, ranged. This was last Thursday. We got just retesting the 200 and the 50 over and over again. Cat Chef, high exhaustion, dropped below 50, retest, came back down to hit the 200. Now it's locked above the 50. See where it goes from there. Chef Jap, high exhaustion today out of Asia session. Same thing, retest 50, drop below 200, and buzzed right through all of them. Didn't even wait too long. EuroCAD, high exhaustion last Thursday. This was Friday's high. Right off the 800, came right down clean through all of them. Just one pullback that went back to the 800 and straight back down off of that, nice and clean. And now it's locked above the 50 again and underneath the 200. Euro Chef and a lot of sideways action and bouncing across both all EMAs. Euro Great Britain, same thing. EMA, a lot of tight EMA action that looks like the 50 is trying to make a bounce off the 200 to go higher. Obviously, you can see. GC, Great Britain CAD, staying in line with trend, making some retests against the 200. Now retest against the 50. So it's dropping. Retest against the blueberry, and it's been going down. Now it's locked below the 50. New Zealand CAD, nice clean bounces off, retests off to 50. Same conditions, just retesting off to 50 and coming down. We checked out gold. It's on low exhaustion right now. We'll see how it does if it gets closed above the 50 to go higher. just be careful. It might just retest to 50 again and and go lower. It did make a strong hit and off the 200 for another drop down. So we got a lot of hits off this 50, retesting and dropping down. There's been no major cross above this 200 for a while. So let's be careful with that. Let's check oil quick. I'm going to imagine that they're going to come retest this and go higher, or they might be completed with that already. They're going to close this gap nice and probably go higher than that. But we'll see what they present to us. Right now it's going up high, trying to close this gap. Alright, so that's a wrap up of the current conditions now. Get back to the trade that we were in. It's doing exactly where I thought, I was going to get out at the 630 level, and I pretty much knew it was going to really play around with these being all tight together, so it's best to wait till it gets retested and for confirmation of direction. So I will try to get a release of exhaustion conditions out a little earlier, at least around the midway of London and New York session, and go from there. Alright, hope everybody has a good evening. Take care.